Hey there, everyone. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Amber.
We're identical twin sisters from Southern California. While we may look exactly alike, sometimes we think that's all we have in common.
We invite you to grab a cup of coffee
Or a glass of wine.
and hang out with us for a little bit.
This is #TwinLifePodcast.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Twin. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Go ahead. Before we talk about your week.
Yeah, before we jump into our week, I just want to say welcome to the #TwinLifePodcast. Thank you guys so much for listening and joining us. I am so glad that you guys stuck with us through the entire year of 2020. We have including this episode, 3 episodes left of content for you guys this year. We got one more holiday episode after this one, which we're going to talk about Christmas songs. And then we have like an all-together recap episode that will come out the week of New Year. So we will have...
I thought that, like...
We'd get to 52 episodes?
Well, no. Like, when we first started the podcast, January, 1st, 2020, that 3 months into the year we'd be in quarantine and there'd be COVID and, like, there's, the vaccine, the first truck of vaccines would have left today and, like, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
But...
The fact that we've even... I mean, most podcasts don't get past, like, that was like the biggest thing that they said. Most podcasts don't get past 10 episodes because they run out of content. And we already have content for actually more because we just talked about another episode that we want to do for you guys. So we have 53 episodes worth of content. So that's pretty crazy. But, we probably will take a break after the new year.
Yeah.
And then... I'm not guaranteeing we're putting out 52 episodes in 2021. I think we'll probably be more reasonable and put out like 30.
Yeah.
And give ourselves like a break, like maybe a summer break or a Christmas break or a holiday break or whatever. And probably do more batch recording. Anyways, we'll talk about all of that at the end of the year, but I just wanted to say thank you guys for sticking with us. Special shout out to my friend Rachel. Yeah, she's a fan. I don't think I've ever run into anybody that was just like, yeah, I listen to your podcast. And I'm like, okay. so thank you for listening. It's cool that people are listening and like, they, we connecting with one person to me is just like so cool. So, yeah, I mean, we do this because we love it, but we also do it because we want to reach people and connect with people. So, all right, all that mushy stuff aside, let's go ahead and talk about our week. So, I'm going to jump in because I have a lot to say. So, this week, I have had, like, not been feeling the greatest. I, just so everyone knows, did not have coronavirus, but I did have a really bad sinus infection. So, we just got a cat, which we talked about, Blue, who is on my Instagram. And I feel like I might be allergic to the cat, or because Derek seems to be totally fine. Unless he like touches the cat and touches his eyes or something, he's totally fine. But I've noticed that, and I can't tell if it's the cat or if it's the weather or what, but I have had so much, my nose has been so runny, like all of this stuff. And I was just like, if either obviously it goes through your head when you start not feeling good. Like, do you have coronavirus? Do you have the flu? Do you have a cold? Do you have a sinus infection? Do you have this, that? Like, there's so many things on the list now that you could possibly have. I was pretty sure it's not COVID because we talked about it earlier that we are pretty confident that we had it way earlier in the year. When all of us were basically wiped out. Me and you, Amber, Phoenix, Landon, Derek, Blake, like we were all just out for the count, like super not feeling well.
Yeah.
So that said, I'm pretty confident that that's not what it was. So I woke up and I was like not feeling good. I had just done a really hard workout too. And that's another thing. Sometimes I get like flu-ish symptoms after I do a super hard workout. And I woke up the next day super sore, not feeling 100%, not feeling great. And I kind of just like rested, whatever, took the day off from workout, whatever, obviously because, being considered other people, like if you feel like you're sick, you shouldn't go to school. Phoenix couldn't go to school because his school said he had a fever, which she said his fever was 100.7, which is not even that's barely a fever. I was just so flabbergasted that he could not go to school with 100.7 fever that's not even a fever. You can't even, like, anyways. So, she wouldn't take him into school, so we had him home all day. And, when I checked his temperature at home, Amber actually went to the store and, like, got some stuff and got me, because we now have 3 thermometers, because I took the temperature and it said our body temperature was, like, 95.4 or something. And I was like, that can't be right. Like, that can't be the right body temperature. Like, that's so cold. So I was like, these are all broken. I was, like, getting so mad. I was like, we have 2 thermometers. They don't even freaking work. So Amber went and bought a thermometer. I took Phoenix's temperature, 96.4 or 98.4, and mine was 97.8 or something like that, which is obviously not a fever. So I took it like 5 or 6 times on Friday. I took it again Saturday morning. I have yet to take it today. This is Sunday. We're actually recording on a Sunday today. I haven't taken it today, but the boy's totally fine. So anyways, that's like so much jumbled together. All that said, I'm feeling a lot better today. I was starting to lose my voice, so I've been like drinking all the lemon and honey, because that's what happens when I get a sinus infection. It's the last thing that happens to me. I get super hoarse. So, like hoarse to the point that last year when I got my yearly sinus infection, I couldn't talk to, like, I couldn't talk. Phoenix literally thought I couldn't hear him. I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but Phoenix was convinced I couldn't hear him because I couldn't speak. And in like a 3.5-year-old's mind, that's what it is. Like, you can't speak, so you must not be able to hear. So he kept shouting at me, like, babe, da 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 da. Like, he was just yelling, and I was like, Phoenix, I was like, trying to get Derek to tell him that I can hear him. I just can't talk to him. Like, it's not the same thing. So, anyway, that said, I'm doing fine. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, and then I'll let you talk, Amber, because I've been babbling for like 8 minutes now, is that we've been dealing with this issue with our super loud neighbors before, and if we were on the Hi Girl Next Door podcast right now, which is like one of my favorite podcasts, they do a thing called Neighborhood News. This would fall under that category of Neighborhood News. So since we moved here in April, literally the people next to us have been throwing parties Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. And let me remind you that what were we doing in April? We were at a stay-at-home order in the entire freaking world. So these people decide that they're just going to throw a party, and they've been throwing parties every single weekend this entire time, all through COVID. Don't care. People over, super loud. They smoke in their apartment. They smoke weed. They smoke cigarettes, whatever. And since we live in a condo style apartment that we moved in. We talked about it on the podcast when we moved here. We share one wall with them, and that wall happens to be the master bedroom wall. We share it with their apartment, which I'm assuming we share with their kitchen, probably because our plumbing is right here in our bathroom, so that would make sense if we shared it with their kitchen. So they just blast music, and I feel like Derek wasn't taking me seriously when I was first telling him, and Amber's here, so she got a little taste of what I deal with on a regular basis. It doesn't matter if it's noon or freaking 1 o'clock in the morning. Loud music. And I'm just like, I really want to buy them headphones for Christmas and leave it on their doorstep and be like, here, apparently you don't know what these are. Because they swear they're working out at like 12 or 1 and like in the afternoon, and for some reason they just refuse to wear headphones. And then at night they're just blasting music and standing on their balcony and shouting and laughing. It's just, anyways. So I ended up calling our security, our rent-a-cops here. They did nothing. Then I called the actual police, who are too busy right now, obviously, because there's real crimes going on right now, and it's not them dropping everything to come to this lady's house in the middle of the night to tell some people to shut up. So, yeah. So, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know what happened. The music was quiet enough last night when I got in the bed that I could go to sleep. And Derek said when he got back here, which was like pretty late, that he didn't hear them. So I'm not sure who went by to tell him to be quiet, but I yelled at them because I went and walked Sansa at like 10, and they were on their balcony now. And I guess they open up all of their windows when they're having parties, which I don't understand, but they open up all the windows in their house. So they were actually on their balcony, and I walked by their balcony with Sansa, and I literally was like, can y'all just be quiet? Like, I wasn't even that nice. I was literally just basically like, shut the F up. Like, I have toddlers sleeping. Y'all need to go inside and shut your freaking windows. Like, and I
just couldn't understand. So for you guys, if you don't know, if you haven't been following us on Instagram, I've been here for the last almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So Elena and I have been here, and so last night I was just like, I mean, every Saturday that I've been here, 2 Saturdays now, I've been like, why are they so, like, I don't understand why they're so loud. Like, that's the part, especially right now, because there's a 10 o'clock curfew in San Diego. It's a stay-at-home order. Why are we throwing a giant party? That to me just made zero sense. And do you not like, it would never occur to me to throw a big party in an apartment or condo that's like, or a duplex or anything that's like attached to somebody else's home. I would never consider throwing a big party with loud, like bumping, like music. To me, that just made no sense. But
I mean, I feel like I've been to enough apartment parties, but usually like it's not like the party's not the whole night. Like, you meet up there, you pregame for like an hour, and then you leave and you go to a real club or a real bar. Like, I feel like those things stopped when you got out of high school. People stopped throwing house parties in the 19-year-olds who had their own apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are grown people. The people that live next to us, the guy lives with his son, and they're like in their late 30s. They're like 38, 39. So they're older than we are. Grown men over there. Like, it's not like we live next door to, like, honestly, if we live next door to teenagers, I honestly feel like we would have scared them enough to this point that they would have stopped. But these people are grown, and they do not care. Oh, I also wrote a page email last night with a video, so y'all can call me a Karen if you want, but I really like my sleep. So I recorded a video of me standing outside my door, and you can hear them over, like, it's so loud that you can barely hear me in the video. That's how loud it is. And that's just right out the front door.
I need to see the video, because I was in here, but I kind of would like to see that, because it was just like so loud. But so I've been here for a couple weeks. So we've been hanging out with Landon and Phoenix. We've gotten to spend some time together, which is pretty cool. And then I was able to, since I've been here, I've been able to go to F45. So I went to 3 F45 classes this week. If you guys follow us on our Instagrams, at Twinlifepodcast for the podcast page. So if you want to see Ashley and I both in action, or our individual pages, mine's at Twinly, and then Ashley's is at A Dreamer's Heart. We've been kind of chronologizing the last week of me going into the class, and it was actually really cool. What's cool about F45 is there's lots of cool things, and Ashley's talked about it for so long now that it kind of sounds like we're done, like repetitive, but
yeah.
It was just, the vibe is really cool. The people in the class are cool. All the coaches are really awesome. So I had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun, like, going to the class. I did 3 classes in a row, and by day 3, so thankfully I did not hurt my back, because I wasn't sure so I did a strength, a cardio, a strength, and I haven't done strength training in years. So my lower back was just not having it. Like, it was so tight that by the end of the 3rd day, that I could barely get myself off the couch. And I was like, Twin, like, I did something to my back. I was like, I don't think, she's like, is it shooting pain? Like, no, it's not shooting pain. It's just so tight that I can't I can't even bend over or stand up. And like, my legs are sore. I'm used to my legs being sore. I'm used to my arms being sore. I'm used to that. Like, my shoulders, my back, like, I'm used to like that kind of stuff sore. I'm not used to my lower back being that sore. So it was like, it was pretty uncomfortable. So I iced it for a little bit, and then it's fine now. It's completely fine now, but it was just very uncomfortable. So I was really concerned. I didn't go to a 4th day because I was like, I don't understand this feeling that my back is having. I don't want to tweak it out. I don't know if what I need to do is stretch it or just let it rest. So I chose to just ice it and let it rest, and that helped. So, but that was my 1 week free trial. So, but it was nice. It was super fun. I felt really strong afterwards, and it like kind of gave me an idea that I'm not like a bum. Like, I still have a little bit of athleticism, which was shocking, but I'm not as like agile as I used to be, which is kind of annoying. so that was kind of frustrating me that there was things like coordination things and stuff that I definitely would have been able to do before that I was like, oh man, I can't do this. It's kind of hard. Like I have to really think about like my the coordination of my legs and my feet. They're not as like strong and, agile as they used to be. But so that was super cool. So that was a fun thing for Ashley and I to do. And then Phoenix and Landon have been hanging out a lot. They're like besties, but more like siblings because they definitely get on each other's nerves. And I think it kind of gets on Ashley and I's nerves, the fact that they get on each other's nerves because
I just can't handle like I think so like the parenting, and this is something that I've heard people that say that they have who have multiples. If we had a bigger space, like, and we had a playroom and they were just running amok in the playroom, totally fine. What I can't handle is them running around us screaming. Like if they're upstairs in Phoenix's room and they can freaking go haywire in Phoenix's room. I don't really care what they do. There's nothing in there that could break that they could break. There's plenty of things that could break, but there's nothing they can break in there. I mean, maybe if they accidentally broke the mirror
at the TV or something, or
yeah, but they're not wild like that. So they're just running around playing dinosaurs, whatever. That stuff is fine to me as long as it's not right by me. Like that's what I was getting frustrated with was Phoenix, like the jumping over the couches and me and running right in front of me and all this stuff and screaming. And I'm like, I'm fine with you doing this. Just please go upstairs. Like just go run upstairs. Don't run right in front of us. Like that was what was getting on my nerves. Parenting two or like dealing with two, making meals for two, getting two in and out of the car, like all of that kind of stuff to me is not that big of a deal. Like that's low key the easier part. The part that I don't like is constantly having to figure out who took the toy first, who had the toy first.
The policing.
Yes. The micromanagement part is so annoying.
It's so, because what sucks is like, neither Ashley nor I are sitting there staring at Phoenix and Landon the whole time. So it's really hard to be like, because sometimes it doesn't matter which one of them it is. Like sometimes the toy actually got taken, and sometimes they're just saying the toy got taken. When in reality, like they weren't playing with it at all to begin with, and they just picked it up off the floor. And now, like it's just, it's like trying to be fair and decipher, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So,
and I think like the thing about it is like, I think it's more so that since Phoenix is almost 5, like he's not used to, like he's used to dealing with other 5-year-olds. So like the communication is there with the 5-year-old. Like they talk this, they literally speak the same language and figuratively speak the same language. Like if you talk to another 5-year-old, they pretty much sound like Phoenix. So like the way they communicate is very, very, very similar versus a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old don't really communicate very similarly because the 2-year-old is still is like their innocence is like a lot more like, it's like more like free flowing, their innocence. They're just kind of like, oh, this is fun. Let's do this. It's all great and fairy tales. And Phoenix is a little bit, he's growing a little bit more out of that kind of thing, So like, it's like Landon in his innocence will just be like, oh, Phoenix, play with me. And he's like, look, bro, like, I don't want to play with you. I've been playing with you all day. Sometimes I just want to sit in quiet, or like, sometimes I want to play by myself or whatever. And Landon's like, oh, play with me. Let's do this. And it's just like, so I don't know, but they're really cute. I enjoy having,
they do wear each other out, which is nice.
Yeah. Landon started to sleep a lot better because when you guys first got here, he wasn't really sleeping. And last night they both passed out. So
yeah, I mean, it's just like the first few days I was here, Phoenix wasn't here during the day. So like Landon didn't really have, I mean, I think Landon was enjoying being able to like play with the toys and stuff, but since Phoenix couldn't go to school Thursday, like they've been together for the last like 3 days. So it's been nice to have them be able to like kind of play with each other and like, Landon kind of get to play with me. And he just like loves, the thing is too, like 2-year-olds, they just like love following people. Like if Landon's not following me around, he's following Phoenix around. So it's nice for me to have Landon following someone else around the house. And it's not me and even still, Landon still like wants my attention, but, that's kind of one thing I've been working on this, like, since, just in the last few days, just like, holding firm to me saying, no, Landon, you can't, blah, 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 because when I'm by myself, it's just kind of like, I mean, is it really that big of a deal? Yes, it kind of is a big deal for him to have his second bag of chips. He cannot have 2 bags of chips. You can have 1 bag of chips, and then you need some grapes, or I'll make you some apples and peanut butter. But like me, like building my communication with him to where like, I think he's slowly, like, his temper tantrums have gotten, like, shorter as I've been here.
I feel like we've also,
okay, that's
I've
cool,
also
like,
learned,
but
yeah, I've also learned that, like, okay, and then we have to move on because we're
cutting into
but I've also learned that, like, our parenting styles are kind of, like, the things that we're strict on are different. And I think it might have to do with, like, when Phoenix was 2, I think we were strict on this, like, we're strict on the same things. I was strict on the same things at Phoenix as that you are with Landon at 2 as I was with Phoenix at 2. But now that he's 5, like, I'm a little bit more kind of like, I think we talked about this already. I kind of like parent by the moment. Like, can I have candy? I don't know. How many pieces of candy have you had today? Today might be a special day. Sure, whatever. Have all the candy you want. Or, can I have chips for breakfast? Yeah, why? Why not? Or, no, absolutely not. Like, it literally is just like, I think Phoenix knows. That's why he's always asked me. Like, he literally will be like, sometime, maybe if I ask, Mom will say yes. And most of the time I say no. I would say 85% of the time I say no. And I know that I'm not that strict on it is because when I say yes, Phoenix is like, wait, you said yes? Like, I can have candy. Like, I can? Like, I can have, like, I'm like, yes, boy, I said you could have candy. Can you just leave me alone? Like, he'll be like, oh, you said yes? I can have candy? And I'm like, yeah, you can have it. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. But, like, it's just funny because, like, and you've seen this. I say no, Phoenix. I don't even know how many times a day. Like, so many times. Like, no, Phoenix, you can't have chips. No, you can't have another piece of candy. No, you can't have ice cream. No, we're not gonna, like, no, you can't take the toy from Landon. No, you can't, da-da-da. Like, I say no to him all the time. Like, the times I say yes, I feel like are few and far between. Maybe it's just because he asked me so many questions, but I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly saying no. But, okay, so that said, did you see this? Huh?
I have to get in our did you see quick so we can get into our topic.
Yes, and we have so much to talk about this, so we might have to do a whole episode once we finish watching all the seasons. But we just wanted to talk about Selling Sunset. So we're probably real late on this because there's 3 seasons of the show on Netflix, and it takes forever.
Now on season 3. So
yeah, it takes forever for Netflix to come out, so we're really behind. So we apologize for not jumping on the bandwagon sooner. But I only started watching it because of Dancing with the Stars. We watched Dancing with the Stars because Caitlin was on there and Chriselle was on there. And then she was also on another podcast that I listened to called The Bio Files. And I was like, who is Chriselle? Like, why do we care who she is? And like, oh, she's on Selling Sunset. I'm like, why do I care what Selling Sunset is? So if you don't know, it's a Netflix series about yes, the Oppenheim Group. They're a bunch of real estate agents, all women in the firm, except for the 2 men who are twins that run the firm, which is kind of cool. And they sell $1 million homes in the greater Los Angeles area.
No, not the greater Los Angeles area. The Hollywood Hills.
In the valley.
Okay, they don't. It's not the greater Los Angeles area, because greater Los Angeles would be like, oh yeah, like they're up there selling houses in freaking Oakland. No, they are selling houses in Hollywood Hills, and just now barely the Valley. So like, these are the people that sell, like, they don't like to sell houses under $10 million. This is like, if they're doing like a $4 or $5 million home, that's a small sale for them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it just, for some reason, I had it saved on my Netflix, and I was like, all right, like, I just finished watching all 7 seasons of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So what am I about to watch now? And Ashley and I watched, so far since I've been here, we have finished an entire season of Married at First Sight. And
Yep.
it almost finished 3 seasons of Selling Sunset.
Yep. We are the binge champions.
Yes, we are the champions of the binge watching. So we are just not getting to it. And guys, first of all, Chriselle Strauss, because she's not Hartley anymore, is like
a freaking angel,
a gem of a human. Like, if you have anything horrible to say about her, you are probably not a good person, because reality TV doesn't make people look like nicer humans.
No,
it
doesn't.
It's not. It makes people look worse. And if you are slightly self-centered or slightly, it's going to make you look like that. this, like, they couldn't edit it to make this girl look not nice.
Yeah.
And it seems like when she first they tried to put her into drama, like, and she's just like, no, like, nope. She'd just be like, bing, bing, like deflecting it like ping pong balls off the wall. Like, she's just not, and I love it. But she's just her story is what got me to wanting to watch her show, because on Dancing with the Stars, both of her parents in the last 3 years, okay, since she's been on this show, both her parents have died, and she lost her husband. Not lost. He publicly divorced her before she even knew. She didn't even know he was trying to get a divorce. TMZ knew before she did. The world knew she was getting a divorce before she did, which is awful.
So horrible.
And what sucks is I like Justin Hartley because, one, he's attractive, and two, because
I can't stand him now.
And now I just can't. I'm just so angry with him because she is such a great. She's just such a great. Like, okay, you guys don't work out, whatever, but like, she literally talked about him like he was her best friend. Like, they were totally on the same page. This is her person for the rest of her life. But now he's freaking like with some other chick that he's known for a long time. Like, at least give her the courtesy of like having that conversation with her. Like, they were had 2 events together prior, like right before he swears that he filed for divorce. Like, they literally it's just crazy. It's super sad. But she's happily dating someone, so it's just fresh for us because we're watching season 3, and that's when they kind of unfold like the whole situation. And then they haven't even started filming season 4 because of COVID. So we're just
waiting.
We're just like waiting. We're gonna finish this sad season 3, and then but then I mean, so that happened. But then she's on Dancing with the Stars, and then she starts dating one of the coaches from Dancing with the Stars. She's worth $7 million probably now because she's been killing it at the Oppenheim group. Like, I mean, she's 40 years old and just like killing life right now. So
yeah. And Christine is horrible.
Oh my gosh, Christine Quinn is just.
She's just a horrible person.
She's just not.
And Davina. They both are horrible, evil people. And I just,
just conniving and manipulative. Yeah. I think other than Chrishell, my favorite person on there is probably Mary. I really like Mary.
Yeah, and I can't believe she was friends with Christine at the beginning. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because she's such a sweet lady, and like, I mean, I'm not super like for her marrying a 25-year-old like dude, but
and her relationship with Jason is weird.
Yeah, but I mean,
Jason's one of the owners of the Oppenheim group.
Yeah, but I feel like in general, like she's just like kind-hearted. It seemed like she's kind-hearted, not trying to have the drama, like. Just
and Heather's just a Klingon.
Making money. Yeah, and Heather's just Klingon. Whoever's trained, she feels like is going up. This girl's trying to be friends. Like,
yes,
Christina spent a whole season talking about how stupid she was, how she had no idea, and now she's like best friends with her. And like, I will say that Christine, like, and it got Mom and I in a conversation that I guess like I'll have takes a whole podcast to cover this conversation I had with my mom about, but she mentioned something about how like if you believe in karma, then you can't then people like Christine don't make sense, because this girl is a horrible, like, mean person, and within months like sold like a 10, what was it, like 20 million, what was it, 20 or 15, something crazy amount of like $1 billion home. So she got this fat freaking commission. So she went on a world tour vacation. The commission she got, she got engaged to the guy she sold the house to, and he bought the house, and now she lives in that house. Yeah. And then they go on a whirlwind vacation, and he's 35 years old and a retired like tech guy. So he's like a multi-million, like a bajillionaire. Like, he may not quite be billionaire. Maybe he's like 1 or 2 billion, worth a couple billion. But man, like, over just like, she went from being this single chick to blah blah to like flying private jets to every country in the world, and like crazy. So if you believe in karma,
she must have sold her soul or something.
Like that her life makes no sense. Yeah. It just doesn't, because she's not a nice person. So if you believe in karma, she should be like homeless on the street somewhere, and she's for sure not. So her mindset in life must be just, I am the shit, and I'm going to be that way. And she's putting all the energy into being awesome at life.
Yeah. She's the epitome of manifesting your reality.
For sure. Like, Yeah, she has no doubt. But anyways, let's get into. Oh, this is perfect timing. Let's get into our topic, and then I think we'll be right on time. Right?
On time. Yeah.
Okay. So this week our topic, we've been doing a holiday, a Christmas themed. Hey, I just got my honey mustard and onion pretzels have just got delivered, twin. Yes.
Awesome. If you guys don't know, if you guys never had these pretzels, man, they're from Pretzel Factory, and they make garlic parmesan. Garlic parmesan is the bomb, but it's not as good as honey mustard. They're honey mustard and onion. They're literally the best. Like, they don't sell them anywhere. We have to special order them on Amazon.
I did. Like, in Indy, every once in a while I can find them in a Meijer, but it's only like the smaller bag. So I just went on Amazon, and you get 2 of the big bags for $13. So I just ordered them from Amazon. So they just came today. I had to wait 3 days for these freaking pretzels. I just couldn't eat the garlic parmesan ones anymore. So I just got the alert as I'm trying to open my notes for our song. So we've been doing Christmas themed episodes. If you guys haven't quite caught on to that, so this week we're going to tell you guys a little bit about like the Christmas songs that we love and the ones that we really like and we're really into. And we discovered that this list is probably like 100 songs. So as we started, I was like, oh, this song. I was like, oh, you remember this song? So we put 10 on the list. But
there's
just
so many
know
more.
that there's so many more Christmas songs that we both really love and enjoy.
You know what we didn't do? We didn't put on here Christmas songs we don't like.
No, we didn't.
I don't think they exist because
I mean,
I really enjoy Christmas music. Like, I don't think there's one song that I turn on. I'm just like, ugh. There might be a version of the song that I don't like. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm not a huge fan of like, I don't know. I can't think of. So there's Christmas.
I mean,
I don't really like
I don't like
music.
Jingle Bell Rock.
Oh yeah, no, I don't really like that song. I like regular Jingle Bells.
I'm not a huge fan of Blue Christmas. Don't kill me. I know people love Elvis, but
have a blue
Christmas. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
I don't really like that song either. You're right.
Oh Tannenbaum. Not a huge fan.
Oh yeah, but that's like a super old song. So old. What about Old Lang Syne?
Like, I don't understand. I don't know what that song means. So, like, if you are listening to our podcast and you know what Old Lang Syne means, please DM me, message us, comment. Let me know what Old Lang Syne means, because I don't know what it means. And the song never made any sense.
Does it mean Happy New Year?
I don't even know what language that's supposed to. Is it Old English? Is it like Celtic? What? It's not Gaelic, because if it was Gaelic, Blake would have been able to tell me what it means. I don't know what it means. I even if you've ever seen when Harry Met Sally at the end of the movie, they're singing that song because people sing it on New Year's Eve, and Harry is like, "Dude, does anyone know what this song means?" And she says that it just means like valuing your friend. I don't know what it means. I don't know what Old Lang Syne means. Let's see. Yeah, I think those are probably the ones I don't like. Most Christmas songs I like. But there's just some that I'm like, Oh, I don't like Dominic the Donkey, which is a song. It's like an Italian song.
What the heck? I've never heard of that.
It's an unusual Christmas song. It's just, I heard it because it's on if you listen to Christmas classics, the playlist on Spotify, it comes up. And I was just like, what is this weird? But yeah, I mean, most Christmas songs I like, honestly. So I guess let's just get into the list. But so yeah, those are kind of the ones I don't like. There's some versions. There's definitely versions of songs that people did the versions. I'm just like, oh, I don't really like that specific version. But in general, I love Christmas songs.
Okay, so while you're talking, I was looking up what Old Lang Syne means. Okay,
what do you mean?
It's a Old Scots language poem. Okay, by Robert Burns from 1788. This is the oldest song. It apparently loosely translates to, title may be translated into standard English, old long since, or long, long ago, days gone by, or like, for the sake of old times. So it's basically like, once upon a time, or like, it's like one of those sayings. So that's kind of what it means.
Okay.
So,
What does the song mean?
it's a song about, like, old friends past, basically. What they said in the when Harry Met what she said.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's get into this. We should have thought of Christmas songs we just don't enjoy, but that was a pretty good list. I think we should start with Baby It's Cold Outside since we're talking about songs we don't like.
Okay, so, yes. So I put on this list of songs. I do like Baby It's Cold Outside, but again, I think we talked about this. I feel like we talked about this before.
Yeah.
But Kelly Clarkson and John Legend did a version, like a 2000s version of an updated version of the song. So it has to, like, it, talks a little, like, it mentions, like, call me and text me, and, like, it's like an updated version. So if you've never really listened to the song, it's very creepy.
I don't think it's that creepy.
Twin, I think it's okay if you are, if you think of it as like you and Derek, then there's like a baseline understanding of, babe, I'm just trying to tell you, like, it's cold outside, just hang out here. If you're thinking about it as like the first time you spent time with somebody, it's creepy.
She says, no,
I really can't stay.
Yeah, I understand that. She's not. So this is what I think. I think it's a typical 1950s cat and mouse game. She's saying, well, I really can't stay. Like, she doesn't, I don't think she actually means it. She's just saying, like, well, she's saying she really should go. Somebody's gonna work. Like, I don't think, people are just taking it way too serious. Like, literally, people are out here thinking that this man has her held hostage. He does not have her held hostage. It's just like, it doesn't fit now, because now it'd be like, no, dude, like, I'm leaving, bye. Or like, no, I want to stay. Like, you would just say, like, no, yeah, I'd love to stay. There would be no, like, none of this, like, game back and forth. But that's what it is. It's like a game back and forth. In the 1950s, that's how women were. They were like these mysterious, hard to catch, like, that's how, like, they were. Marilyn Monroe, like, these very, like, sultry, like, oh, take me, but don't touch. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, like, that's how the song was. I think it's cute. Like, I think people need to just calm down. Like, that's literally what I think. I do not think it is rapey. Now, Derek, on the other hand, was like, well, this is Derek's words, by the way. He's like, I think it sounds kind of rapey, babe. And I was like, I don't think it does. I will continue, and people can hate on me if they want to. I will continue to listen to Baby It's Cold Outside because I think it's cute and a sexy Christmas song. And, like, you know what I mean? There's so many Christmas songs that have... Doesn't Mariah Carey do a song where she's talking about being a gold digger to Santa Claus? What's that song? Do we have that on here?
Mommy Kissing Santa Claus?
Michael Jackson, they sang that when they were kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Somebody kissing Santa Claus.
Yes, that's not on this list, though.
It's not. That's a great.
I think we'll have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, when I sit and listen to the lyrics, because Blake and I listened to it in the house last year for Christmas, and I just was like some of the lyrics would be, and Blake and I'd be like, oh, that seemed a little like, hold on there, sir. Like, but I mean, yes, there was kind of this coy, like, coquettish way that women were in the 1950s. It's kind of either you were that way or you were in the kitchen. So you either had to have some sort of mystery about you and like a person that no man could really hold on to kind of situation, or you were like in the kitchen cooking and taking care of your kids. So there wasn't really like it was one side or the other. It's just that I just don't, like, now, like, the more modern woman doesn't really want to feel like the need to play that cat and mouse game. Like, if I want to do something, I will. If I'm not going to, then I'm not going to.
Except for in a professional setting, because on on our show we were just talking about, what I lose the name of the show now. But,
Selling Sunset?
Yeah, Selling Sunset. They were...
Start this so off with this, too.
Yeah, it was... What's her name? The one that's the Israeli girl that's pregnant?
I can't remember her name right now.
I can't remember her name right now, but she has a client, and he's like a single bachelor, and she talks about how, like, she's like, sometimes you just have to play the game, you know, because, you know, sometimes they're trying to buy stuff, and sometimes they're just trying to hit on you. And she still went to dinner with him just to make the sale. And it's like,
She went
I'm
to
supposed
lunch.
to lunch, I'm sorry. But I'm supposed to tolerate, and then he said, no, she's going to have a drink. And she's like, well, I guess I'm going to have a drink. Like, that to me, that's creepy. You know what I mean? The fact that she felt like she had to go entertain this guy to make money when reality wasn't going to buy anything. He just was trying to get at her. And she's married.
She said she was married, like,
and he was disrespectful. And the fact that she didn't just shut him down, to me, I think is just speaks a lot about how the times really haven't changed that much. Yeah. But that's a whole podcast for another time. Okay, so you want to go ahead with the list, Twin?
Yeah. So my first song on the list, we have two like kind of modern ones, and the rest of them are pretty classic. But I love "Santa Tell Me" by Ariana Grande. It is just my bop so much. I love it. It's so good, and I just love this song. I think it's a cute song. It's very upbeat. It's got the jingle bells in the background, and it's just, I don't know. It just gives me happiness whenever I listen to it. And that's kind of the vibe I want to get when I listen to a Christmas song. Yeah. The next one is Bieber, Under the Mistletoe. Another very sweet, like, this one's like, so Santa Tell Me is more, it's Ariana Grande has more like a sexy, like, vibe. Under the Mistletoe is more of like a sweet, vibe. And I mean, it's been around for a long time because Justin Bieber was like in his teens when he did this. Like, he's had one Christmas album and it is banging every year. So, and Under the Mistletoe is the most popular song from that album, and it's really good. Obviously, like, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
I love that song.
I love that song. This Christmas isn't that the Chris Brown one from the movie?
Well, the original This Christmas is good too, but I particularly like the This Christmas. Yeah, I particularly like that version. Chris Brown's version is really good. Yeah, obviously, it's not his song. It's a super old song.
Yeah.
But I like Chris Brown's version. It's really good.
Let It Snow. Is that the Boyz II Men? That's Boyz II Men. I feel like it was Boyz II Men. Yeah, Boyz II Men did that. That's one of my favorite ones. Isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
But that song's so good too. Baby It's Cold Outside, we talked about already. I like the Kelly Clarkson, the John Legend version. If you haven't heard it, compare the lyrics, because it's nice to have the lyrics be modernized, even if you don't think the original is creepy. The newer one is like modernized for the time. So even like there's a lot of things.
He says he'll call her an Uber.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of things that you wouldn't get in the old one if you're younger. If you're Gen Z, you wouldn't understand the older version, in other words. So it's nice they updated it. Last Christmas, for some reason, the one that always comes, Hillary Duff's voice is what comes to my head every time.
I don't know why.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. But the very next day, you gave it away. Yeah, that, for some reason, her voice just rings in my ear every time I hear that song. And then Oh Holy Night, I mean, pick a version.
Pentatonics has a really good version.
Blake is really into he really likes Glee Christmas, like the Glee Christmas station. And Pentatonics there's on there a lot. I'm more of like the pop Christmas person, which is weird because you would think the Glee Christmas it's not, because I like some of the newer songs, like the Jonas Brothers, the newer songs that come out in the last decade. I also appreciate as Christmas songs as well. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
I love that song.
I said Oh Holy Night already, didn't I? Did I just say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Ashley and I have a super hilarious. Which is weird because we should, like, when we did this, if there was a such thing as TikTok and Reels, it would have been a TikTok or a Reel, but it's hilarious. It's us, like, with our Christmas like the Christmas filters and, like, the Mickey and Minnie Mouse voices, and we're just singing this chorus, and it's hilarious. I'm pretty sure it's on our Instagram. I may repost it in our story this year, but it's really funny. But it's a great song. Honestly, I re-listened to the NSYNC Christmas album. Not my favorite. It's very slow. Really? Yeah, it's very slow, and like this song is the only like joyful song on the album. Everything else is very like mellow, and like it just didn't bring me joy when I listened to the album.
Well, yeah, but it's probably more of like a wrapping gifts at night type of thing,
right? Like making cookies
or like Christmas dinner. type of,
in the background. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that one song. But when I like to feel like energized with my Christmas music, that didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. If you've never heard this song, is your head in a box. It's been the number one Christmas song for probably
every year for the rest of our whole life.
4 decades, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Do You Hear What I Hear, which is a really classic
Whitney Houston.
Classic song.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's just
there's some honorable mentions in there. I mean, Mary Did You Know, pentatonic specifically version.
Yeah.
Is I listen to that song even when it's not Christmas, to be honest. I was watching Housley Live, which is Tamara and Adam Housley's YouTube, and they were talking about Christmas, and he was talking about how they will listen to Christmas music all year long, and I'm like, yeah, sometimes I'm in a Christmas mood. Like, sometimes I want to hear, freaking Let It Snow by Boyz II Men or Merry Christmas by NSYNC. Like, sometimes I'm just in that type of mood, and the Pentatonics, Mary Did You Know, it just goes so, like, it's just, I mean, it's weird to say a Christmas song goes so hard, but, like, it really does. Like,
I mean, that's how I feel about
so
the Preacher's Wife album, like the Preacher's Wife soundtrack. Like, I'll be just bumping the Preacher's Wife soundtrack because
we have to watch. I need to write that down. Why did we not talk about the Preachers? Did we talk about that in our Christmas movies?
I don't know, but if we didn't, we should have. The Preacher's Wife. I think we did. Yeah. I hope so, because it's so good. If we didn't, like, someone just, like, bopped us on the head, because The Preacher's Wife is just so good.
So good.
But I think that's our whole list, Twin. So,
yeah.
Did you have if there's any other Christmas song, we just named a lot. If for some reason you think that there's a Christmas song or version that you think that we need to hear, please let us know. Leave us a comment or send us a DM at Twinlifepodcast on Instagram. Did you have you do, I'm sure you do, but did you want to wait till Monday? For your Go Girl, No Girl.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could mention it right now. So I'm not going to talk about, it would normally be the results of the challenge. I guess I can say my Go Girl would be that I finished the 45-day challenge. It is officially over. It ended on Wednesday, so it ended a week ago when you're listening to this podcast. And we're only 3 days past that, because today is Sunday. But yeah, so we ended the challenge. I did really great. When you're listening to this, we will already have our Instagram live up. And we'll have it saved in our IGTV. So if you guys want to go check it out, you'll get to hear, you'll hear all about all about my journey. And if you did join us, thank you for joining us on the live. We appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. And yeah, I would talk about all the journey and how I got here and whatever, everything, all the things. So yeah.
Well, my do you have a no girl?
The only thing I would say that's kind of a no girl is that I've been seeing other people's results and like feeling good about my results because I feel like I did great, but it is a competition, so I'm kind of waiting to see like if I actually was one of the top 2 women or not, because seeing other people's results, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure. And the fact that like there's some girls that are like did really good and lost like a relatively high percentage of body fat, but they're tiny.
Yeah.
So it's like I would have literally, to lose the same body fat, I would have had to lose probably 5-ish pounds more than I did lose. So, which is completely unrealistic, to be honest.
45 days, yeah.
Yeah. So it just kind of, when I saw the post, I had to like wait because I was like salty Sandy. So I was like, okay, let me just like wait until like I can actually say a genuine congratulations. And then I said a genuine congratulations to everybody. And I really am happy for everyone's results. It just is like, I'm very competitive, obviously. So I just really want to win. So by the time you guys listen to this, I'll probably already know who won. But yeah, so that's my no girl, is me just needing to like check my own attitude. But yeah.
Well, I will say that I'm glad, like I'd already talked about me going to F45, but I will say that my Go Girl is just like an insight of like, what's going on with me right now. Like Blake and I did start doing like couples therapy, which was like a huge step. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's like, I'm not going to like share like a whole lot of details about life, but it was really, it was like it was a really good step, and like just in communication and everything. So I was pretty excited about that. And then, obviously the fact that I did 3 days of F45 this week was pretty freaking awesome, just as like a personal thing. Just feeling like, I didn't feel like physically like, at my best level. Like obviously I like had a reality check a little bit of like, okay, so this is really what you need to work on. But it also was nice to know that I could get through 3 F45 classes. Like I wasn't able to like go hard all the way through, but I was able to like finish. And the first one was super hard, and I really don't think it was hard because it was the first time I'd worked out in a while. I think it was hard because I drank a Zip Fizz and it made me very, very dizzy. And like it really messed it, because the next 2 days, like it was rough, but like it was mentally I had to get past like my physical discomfort. Whereas like the first day I was like very lightheaded and nauseous and stuff. So, but anyways, please, thank you again if you guys watched us on our live. This will be posted after our live on Monday. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in. But if you haven't already, hit the bell if you're listening to us on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on any other podcast thing, especially Apple Podcasts, make sure you hit those 5 stars. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Leave us a review. We would love to hear what you guys think of us. Any other closing thoughts, Twin?
Nope, I have no closing thoughts. Just happy holidays.
Yes, Merry Christmas, guys.
And we will, happy Hanukkah! As we're recording this, I think this is the 3rd or 4th day of Hanukkah. So I don't know if we have any people that listen to us that are Jewish and are celebrating Hanukkah, or are Messianic and celebrating Hanukkah, or just you celebrate Hanukkah. I don't know why you would celebrate Hanukkah if you're not Jewish, but whatever. But yeah, just happy Hanukkah, because I know there's a few people that we grew up with as kids that are Jewish.
So the first day of Hanukkah was on Friday.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, we're at day 3 of Hanukkah, so happy